Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyana. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the 13th Adhyaya, Kshetradnya Yoga, and Sri Krishna has just started us telling about the great Kshetradnya. Who is that knower of the field? Our previous reading of 13th Shloka, Sri Krishna told us that he is the one. Sarvatah panipadam tat sarvato akshishiraha mukham sarvatah shutimalloke sarvabhṛccaiva. He is the one with his hands and feet everywhere, in all the directions, the entire space. Sarvatah panipadam tat sarvatah akshishiraha mukham. His eyes, his head, his mouths, they are also everywhere. Wherever you see any hand, any feet, any eyes, any heads, any mouths, know those things to be belonging to him. They are not belonging to these individual beings. They are not belonging to these individual creatures. They are just the manifestations of that highest authority. They are just the physical manifestations in that form of the ultimate reality. Ultimately, all those things, they belong to him. And these individual beings, they have this false notion: this is my hand, this is my foot, my leg, this is my mouth, these are my eyes, this is my head. Nothing. And sarvatah shutimalloki, even the ears, they don't belong to these individual beings. Even all the ears that all the beings have, those are his or hers, or that ultimate reality's ears. And in a way, Sri Krishna says that sarvam avrutyatishthati, that being, he has pervaded all the space. Everything that is there in this creation, in this universe, everything is enveloped by him. There is not a single nook and corner. There is not a single, space, little, even the minuscule space. There is not a single space which is not pervaded by him. He has pervaded everything in that physical form. And then Sri Krishna tells us in this 14th Shloka, sarvendriyaguṇābhāsaṃ sarvendriyavivarjitam asaktaṃ sarvabhṛccaiva nirguṇaṃ guṇabhoktṛ. Now, as far as these physical bodies are concerned, Sri Krishna says they are all his. The physical body that we see. And what about the internal faculties. Sri Krishna says, even that is belonging to him only. There is nothing of my own. There is nothing that belongs to these jivas. Sarvendriyaguṇābhāsaṃ. All this, abhasam is shining. All these gunas shining through the indriyas, they all belong to him. He is the ultimate owner of all those things, all these senses. Now we actually can't see the senses as such, but yes, we perceive it through the sense organs. We can see through eyes, we can taste through mouth, we can listen through ears, we can smell through nose, we can have a sense of touch through the skin. But all these functions of this individuality, this individual, they are shining through his functions. They're all shining through his functions. Sarvendriyaguṇābhāsaṃ. They are all his senses. Nothing belongs to us. Sarvendriyavivarjitam. And that being, although all these senses belong to him, for that matter, they are exhibited, manifested through him. All the senses, although are manifested through him, that being sarvendriyavivarjitam, he is devoid of all those senses. He is beyond seeing, beyond listening, beyond hearing, beyond tasting, beyond touching. He doesn't have anything to do with that. Because he is beyond the sense organs. He doesn't have those. He is beyond the perception of the senses. And it is only to this body that he has given this facility to perceive the senses. In fact, the senses are also shining through him, but he is devoid of them. Vivarjitam. Sarva indriya vivarjitam. He is devoid of all those things. He has got nothing to do with it. A beautiful flower we see, we get so happy. Oh, such a beautiful flower. We see an ugly scene, we get so much repulsed by it. But he, the ultimate, he is beyond all those things. He is devoid of all those things. The good and bad, the beautiful and ugly, it is not there in his dictionary. His dictionary only talks about the ultimate bliss. It is only it is only we with these sense organs. We have the capability of perception of all these kind of the faculties, all these kind of experiences. Only we with these sense organs, we can perceive. Asaktaṃ sarvabhṛccaiva. Asaktaṃ. Asaktaṃ is basically unattached. Absolute. Asaktaṃ sarvabhṛccaiva. While he himself is non-attached. He himself is totally detached from everything. But he is the supporter of all. He doesn't give up his responsibility of sustaining this universe. That is his responsibility. He does it. But he is unattached. He doesn't get involved in all the activities that are happening in this universe. If something good happens, he doesn't rejoice. If something bad happens, he doesn't start crying. He doesn't start shedding tears. No. He is just doing his duty. He is there. But although he is unattached, although he is absolute, although he is so much detached from his creation, but still he doesn't give us his responsibility of sustaining this creation, supporting this creation. sarvabhṛccaiva nirguṇaṃ guṇabhoktṛ. He is nirguna. He doesn't have sattva, rajas, tamas. He is not afflicted by these three gunas of sattva, rajas, tamas. But at the same time, guṇabhoktṛ, he experiences all the three gunas through these multitudes of his creation, these multitudes of beings in his creation that he has created. Otherwise, he is beyond sattva, rajas, tamas. No sattva, rajas, tamas can afflict him. He is beyond that. But he has created the gunas. The moment he created this creation, the moment he created the prakriti, there came into effect the three gunas. And these three gunas, they are playing hell with us, with all the individual bodies. These three gunas, the sattva, the rajas, and tamas. The guna of sattva, the purity. The guna of activity, the rajas. And even the guna of inertia, the jadatva, the tamas. We all are afflicted by these. He is experiencing these three gunas through us. So that is what Shri Krishna has told us in this 14th shloka, that sarvendriyaguṇābhāsaṃ sarvendriyavivarjitam asaktaṃ sarvabhṛccaiva nirguṇaṃ guṇabhoktṛ. Shining by the functions of all the senses, yet he is without senses. Absolute. He is unattached, but sustains this entire creation. He doesn't give up his responsibility of supporting, sustaining, of thriving this creation. That is his play. And he doesn't run away from playing that play. Nirguṇaṃ, he is nirguna. But at the same time, he experiences the gunas through all of us, through this entire creation. He is devoid of gunas, yet he experiences them. The sunlight enables us to see colorful forms in their true perspective. Without light, we can't see anything, right? It may be said that the sunlight reveals itself as the interpreter of all the forms and colors. Whatever we see is because of the sunlight. Because of the light, we see everything. But has that light got to do anything with what we see? He is aloof. He is absolutely aloof from that play. It is true, if it is dark, we won't be able to see anything what is lying there in front of me. We need light to see something. But is light anyway involved in that activity of we seeing all these things? The light is not. No way connected, no way concerned with what we see or what we don't see. While apparently assuming forms and hues, sunlight is not in itself with form and color. The light itself doesn't have any form and color. But without the light, we won't be able to perceive the form and color of those things. Without the light, we won't be able to say, oh, it is such a beautiful thing that I'm looking at. It is unattached to all these modifications. Chaitanya or consciousness, which is the characteristic of Atman, plays a role similar to that of the sunlight. It is this consciousness which makes us perceive all these things. But is the consciousness affected by all these things? No way. The ultimate, just like sunlight is no way affected. Sunlight is no way concerned with our seeing the things. In the same way, the consciousness, the Chaitanya of the indweller of this body is, it totally remains affected, but because of that Chaitanya, because of that consciousness, we start perceiving the things. Consciousness has got nothing to do. That the Chaitanya, it doesn't see anything good or bad. That Chaitanya, for that matter, it doesn't see anything beautiful or ugly. It just reflects upon the light of understanding. It is no way concerned, it is no way affected. Consciousness lights up the senses and aids them function in their respective want. In their respective action, the senses will work because of that Chaitanya. Brahman or absolute awareness is also known as Chidakasha. Chit Akasha, the space pervading this body. That is the Brahman again, the Jivatman. It is substratum to everything sentient and insentient, as the screen is the substratum to cinema pictures projected on it. Now, these are all the different various kinds of examples that we can try to understand the great truth that Sri Krishna has told us. That he has all the senses, but he is beyond senses. He is unattached, but he is supporting everything. He is there in each and every happening in this creation. The birth, sustenance, and death, he is there very much involved, but he is not affected in that. He is not affected in that process at all. He is not affected by what the Indriyas see. The Indriyas perceive. He is not affected by what senses perceive. He is absolutely aloof, like the sunlight. And like the screen. Like if we go to cinema hall, it is this, screen in the cinema hall. If we are watching a movie in home on TV, it is the screen of the TV. Does that screen got anything to do with what we are seeing? We may see a lovely spiritual discourse on the same TV and somebody may see something. Does the screen get affected by it? No. It is just the medium of projection. Sunlight is just the medium of making us see the things. The consciousness, the Chaitanya, is just a medium behind our realizing, our perceiving through the senses. So that is the difference between the beings and the Kshetradnya. That is the difference between the Kshetra and the Kshetradnya. Kshetradnya is there in each and everything, but beyond that. It has got nothing to do with the Kshetra. It has got nothing to do with the actions of the Kshetra, the Gunas of the Kshetra, the qualities of the Kshetra. All the same. Similarly, the three Gunas are not in Brahman. All the same, Brahman aids Gunas shine in their colors and characteristics. So, like Sri Krishna said, that he is nirguṇaṃ, but guṇabhoktṛ. It is not that he is giving up his responsibility of the being experiencing those gunas. When sattva is predominant, I am in such a wonderful state of mind, I am in a blissful state. When rajas is predominant, I am angry, I am most active, I want to do things at the fastest pace. When rajas is predominant. And when the tamas is predominant, I want to be lethargic as possible. I may just lie down, sleep and do nothing. That is how we experience sattva, rajas, tamas. But he, the ultimate reality, is devoid, is beyond all these gunas, all these sattva, rajas, tamas. Now let us hear what Sri Ramakrishna has to talk on this particular teaching of Sri Krishna. Sri Ramakrishna's teaching goes like this. Both the aspects, that with form and that without form, belong to the same God. That is the ultimate reality. Whether it is in physical form or it is formless, whether it is saguna or nirguna, all the aspects belong to that ultimate reality. It's the same God. Faith in the one implies faith in the other. If I believe in God with form, By default, I have to necessarily believe in God without formals. We cannot, it is a dichotomy actually, and this is exactly what had happened to Sri M, the writer of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. When he heard this truth from Sri Ramakrishna for the first time, how is it possible that both Sakar and Nirakar can be true at the same time? But Sri Ramakrishna says, yes, if you have faith in God with form, you have to also automatically, you will have faith in God without form. The fire and its heating property cannot be separated from one another. You cannot have fire without hotness. You cannot have ice without that coldness. These are all the inherent things associated with fire, with cold, and even with us. The sun and the sunbeams are inseparable. Milk and its whiteness are inseparable. Similarly, Saguna Brahman and the Nirguna Brahman are one and the same. It is not possible to conceive of the one to the exclusion of other. And this is exactly what Sri Krishna says in this particular shloka. Although the Kshetradnya, it guṇabhoktṛ, it experiences all the gunas, but it is beyond gunas. In the nirguna form, he is beyond gunas, he is nirguna. But at the same time, when that same nirguna becomes saguna, it rejoices, experiences all the gunas. It doesn't have, it is beyond the senses as such, but it experiences through all these varied multitudes of senses, sense organs possessed by these individuals. So what is formless automatically takes a form. What is nirguna automatically becomes saguna. What is asaktaṃ, what is unattached, it doesn't remain unattached when it comes to sustaining this creation. It involves itself. It has to then create, it has to sustain, it has to destroy. All the process of creation, preservation, destruction, he has to undertake his responsibility in that. So this is the 15th shloka what that Sri Krishna has told us more about the Kshetradnya. That although he doesn't have anything of his own, he is beyond all these limitations, but still he does his duty. Still he rejoices, he experiences all the gunas through all of us. So that is the quality of the Kshetradnya that Sri Krishna has taught us in this 15th shloka of the 13th adhyaya, the Kshetradnya yoga. The yoga of field and knower of the field. The yoga of this body and the knower of this body, the one truth which is behind this body. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur Jai Ma. Jai Swami Ji.